Chidi had everything a man could ask for. A loving wife, Amora, who supported him with every breath in her body. 2 lovely children who ran to hug him every evening he returned from work. A beautiful home in a peaceful foreign country. And money, enough to live comfortably, travel, and buy whatever he wanted. Anyone who saw him from the outside would swear he was the luckiest man alive. People envied him. Friends admired him. Relatives praised him. Yet inside him lived a dangerous weakness. A hunger that kept whispering to him no matter how much love he had at home. Chidi had a habit of looking outside. He had a beautiful garden, but he kept staring at the bushes far away. Amora trusted him with her life. She believed in him more than she believed in herself. When he told her he was traveling for work, she never doubted him. She would pack his bag, iron his clothes, pray with him, and kiss him goodbye. She always said, "Go and prosper, my husband." She had no idea that sometimes, the places he claimed to visit were not what he told her. She had no clue that one particular trip would change everything. Forever. One chilly evening, Chidi walked into the living room where Amora was helping their daughter with homework. With a calm voice, he told her he had an important business meeting on Coral Island. Amora didn't hesitate. She stood up immediately to start packing his clothes. She even added snacks he liked. When she hugged him before he left, she whispered, "Call me when you land. Don't stress too much." Chidi nodded, kissed her, and walked out of the house with a heart filled with guilt he pushed to the back of his mind. But the truth was simple and shameful: there was no meeting. Chidi was traveling to another country to meet Bella, his side chick. They had been chatting for months, and he convinced himself it was harmless. Just a friendship, he claimed at first. But the friendship soon grew into something darker, something he knew he could never justify to his wife. Still, he went ahead, believing he could manage everything perfectly. Believing he was too smart to be caught. Believing the world would bend for him because things had always gone his way. When he arrived, Bella greeted him like a queen expecting her king. She wore a short, glittering dress, heavy perfume, and a smile that hid nothing. They spent time together, laughing, drinking, eating, and living as though nothing mattered, not the wife at home, not the children waiting for his call, not the promises he once made at the altar. For those 2 days, Chidi stopped being a husband. He stopped being a father. He became a man chasing shadows, forgetting the solid rock he had left at home. He ignored Amora's calls, sending only short messages like, "Meeting going well," or "I'll call later." Each message was a lie, each lie a knife that would soon turn around and stab him. On the morning of his return, heavy clouds covered the sky. Rain began to fall, slow at first, then wild and angry. Bella begged him to stay until the weather calmed down, but Chidi refused. Panic was finally creeping in. He needed to reach home before suspicion rose. He needed to erase the evidence of his betrayal. He needed to get back to the life he had almost destroyed. He entered a taxi, heart pounding. The driver looked worried about the weather, but Chidi insisted they should go. The rain hit the windshield hard. The road was slippery. The wind howled as if warning him to turn back, but pride is a stubborn companion. He kept going. As the car picked up speed, the storm grew stronger. Visibility became poor. The driver struggled to keep control. Chidi held the edge of his seat, his mind replaying every lie he had told, every step he took into the darkness. He thought about Amora's smile, her pure trust, her gentle eyes. For the first time, regret punched him sharply in the chest. Then it happened. A large truck on the opposite lane suddenly swerved, losing control on the wet road. The taxi driver tried to dodge, but everything moved too fast. There was a deafening crash, metal folding like soft cloth, glass exploding everywhere, screams swallowed by thunder, and then silence so heavy it felt like the world stopped breathing. Chidi died instantly. His phone was thrown out of the broken window, screen shattered, but still ringing, Amora's name flashing again and again. Back home, Amora had just finished feeding the kids when her phone rang. It was an unknown number. When she answered, she heard the trembling voice of a stranger on the other end. "Ma, are you the wife of Mr. Chidi?" Her heart skipped. Yes, I am." The voice swallowed, then delivered the blow. "I'm so sorry. Your husband was in a terrible accident. He didn't survive." The spoon fell from Amora's hand. Her knees weakened. Her voice broke. No, he is at a meeting. He went to Coral Island for work." But reality is not moved by tears. Her world collapsed in one single moment, in one single sentence. Family friends rushed to her house. The children cried without understanding why their mother screamed the way she did. Days later, when arrangements were being made to bring his body home, the truth began to unfold. The airline records didn't match the story he told her. The hotel where he stayed called to confirm his belongings. And then Bella came forward, revealing everything in tears and fear. Every lie exploded like a bomb, each piece stabbing Amora's heart with fresh pain. As Amora sat alone one evening, searching through his drawers, she found a small envelope hidden under his shirts. On it was written, "To my wife. If anything ever happens to me." With shaking fingers, she opened it. The letter inside was painful to read. He wrote that he loved her but didn't know why he kept looking outside. He wrote that if life ever punished him, he begged for her forgiveness. He wrote that his greatest regret would always be hurting the woman who held his heart with kindness. He asked her to raise their children with wisdom and teach them never to repeat his mistakes. Amora's tears soaked the paper as she held it close to her chest. The man she trusted had broken her, but even in death, he admitted his greatest sin. It didn't fix anything. It didn't erase the betrayal. But it showed her that guilt had lived in him too, he just never stopped it before it was too late. Chidi had everything, a loyal wife, a peaceful home, a bright future, but he chose to chase something empty. He traded gold for dust. And he paid the highest price. In the end, the truth was simple: cheating destroys. It destroys trust, destroys homes, destroys futures, and sometimes destroys lives. When you have someone who loves you, hold on to them. Protect your home. Fight for your marriage. Don't gamble your life for a moment of pleasure. Because the world may forgive many things, but consequences never forget.